Hello, welcome back to my channel. What if Naruto? What if Naruto went to Marvel Universe 2? The like goal for this video is 20. The sooner the like goal is completed, the sooner I will upload the next part for this what if. Disclaimer: I don't own Naruto nor this fanfic. 5 years later, Empire State University afternoon. Naruto yawned as he walked out of his last class. He's grown several inches over the last 5 years and is now wearing an orange t-shirt and a red zip-up hoodie, black cargo pants, and a pair of blue and white running shoes. Naruto. Naruto turned to see a woman run up to him. She is a Caucasian slender red-headed woman with green eyes and red lipstick. She is several inches shorter than him. She's wearing a black leather jacket over a pink hoodie and a white t-shirt, keeping them tucked into her medium blue colored jeans with a large brown belt. "Hey there, MJ. 1, Naruto greeted before a boy ran to them. He is a Caucasian male and is wearing a green long-sleeved button-down shirt unbuttoned over a black tie shirt. He's also wearing blue jeans with light blue shoes. "Hey Pete, running late to get back to May?" Naruto asked, resting his hands behind his head. "No, the class ran late and JJ will be wanting pictures of Spider-Man again," Peter replied as they walked out of the university. Naruto stopped as his cell went off. "Always we will fight as one. Till the battle's won." "Really? You got some campy theme song as a ringtone?" Mary Jane asked as Naruto pulled a smartphone out of his pocket and slid the green answer bar over to the right. "Hello? Janet? Whoa, slow down, did Hank burn dinner again while watching ants go by the window? Okay, I'll be there with takeout." Naruto hung up the phone before looking at the others. "Sorry, gotta help Janet out." He took off down the street before turning down an alley and changed into his costume. Asgard. A group of people stood in a room in front of an elderly man on a throne chair. One walked up to the steps. He is a very tall Asgardian. He has blonde hair and blue eyes. He has very large arm muscles and long legs. He's wearing a silver helmet, a red cape, black armor with silver circles, red wristbands, a large golden belt, blue tights, and tall golden shoes. On the side of his waist is a large hammer. The Odin's leap is near, Thor. "Once a year one must slumber to regain my strength so that Asgard can continue to live. There is much for you to prepare for." Thor looked at his father before speaking. "Balder and Sif will watch over Asgard while you sleep. I must attend to Midgard. You need to be here. Asgard is your responsibility, not Midgard." Odin yelled, having Thor shake his head. "No, the mortals need me, father. I return to Midgard again and again because their world is spawning dangers they're not prepared to face. Evil that will consume them. Unless I am there to stop them. Balder tells me the mortals are more capable than you give them credit for. You saw the valor of the human, Jane Foster." Thor narrowed his eyes at that. "And of course you were watching me. I will always be here to protect Asgard, but I will not play this game. Loki is not wrong, father. You toy with us all, telling us whatever you need to keep us under your heel. You could have stopped Loki's attack before it happened." "Enough!" Odin yelled, standing up, holding a golden club. "You dare defy me?" Thor stood his ground and continued. "Should Asgard be threatened, I will be here. But until then, I choose Earth. Thor took his leave, as did all but one bearded man in fur-covered armor. Odin sighed as he sat down. Heimdall, tell me. How's the boy? Heimdall looked to Odin before answering. He has grown strong, my lord. Odin looks down in contemplation for several moments before Heimdall looks to Odin. It is not my place to question your decision, Lord Odin, but was truly necessary to block their memories of each other? He is immortal, she is of Asgard. The friendship they began, whatever could have blossomed from it, such things could not last between those of such far-off realms. It is better that they forget, and not be forced apart. Outside, Thor stood on a rainbow bridge before looking back. Father. You do not understand, No, I am needed on Earth. He put Mjolnir's strap around his wrist before twirling the hammer and threw it away, flying along with it. Missing a woman walking out of the shadows on the gate. She is a Caucasian female with a voluptuous yet slightly toned body, long blonde hair which reaches down to her waist, green eyes, broad shoulders, and pink lipstick. She's wearing a green Asgardian skin-tight suit, which leaves her shoulders bare, and shows off her cleavage, and a matching mini skirt. She's wearing tight green arm sleeves that went almost up to her shoulders, and black tights with green circles on the sides, and a green tiara. She looked to Thor before holding her head from a surging headache. Damn it, they've been getting stronger as of late. Her hands glowed green before putting them on her temples. Sighing as her headache went away, she walked back and disappeared into a portal. The Isle of Silence. A/N, this up to the breakout will be fully canon. Feel free to skip. Emma appeared beside a man in a black and white place of silence. She created a bubble that expanded to color her, the man, and another. The man beside her is a bald, tall, muscular man holding a double-edged battle axe and is wearing red Asgardian armor. The other man is skinny with long black hair, wearing a green suit with gold accents and a helmet with horns. Did you miss the sound of your own voice? Enchantress asked the man who stood from his sitting position. How droll, tell me, Loki said as Enchantress spoke. All transpired as you planned. Neither Thor nor Odin is aware of what's happening. Shield. Big house. Inside the big house, Whirlwind was trying to break free from the force field keeping him in his cell. Stop that! He heard from the cell next to his. Why aren't any of you trying to break out? Whirlwind asked as he heard the man writing on the wall. Over in the cell, the man was writing formulas on the wall before stopping. He's wearing a bodysuit with gears on the back of his bald head. I choose not to. He said before walking to the other side and put a wig on. Who are you? Whirlwind asked, making the man smirk. Just a thinker. Though, some call me mad. You see, I have done the math. This is one of 4 main supervillain prisons, each holding some of the most powerful criminals on the planet. Catastrophes are inevitable. All systems break down, we will be free. And soon. A week later, Slovakia. Iron Man was looking around the mountain range before zooming in on an area that's shielded off. There, he saw a group of men in yellow hazmat suits talking to a woman with metal on her cheeks. She has black hair and pink eyes without pupils. She's wearing a black outfit with steel plates on her with a V symbol on the left chest. They're trading guns, and as he flew down heard that just one of those weapons could take out an army. Good thing I didn't bring an army with me. Iron Man landed before standing up. Wow, quite the sale you've got here. A lot of neat stuff. Unfortunately, some of it has my name on it. He looked to the group before they attacked. Iron Man put a shield around him before speaking. You know, calling yourselves the Advanced Idea Mechanics, that was a really bad idea. He said before letting out a sonic blast from his chest, knocking out the men as the woman was unfazed. Give your master a message for me. Buyer beware. You steal my tech, you answer to me, including him. The woman stared at Iron Man for a moment before leaving with two large robots. His faceplate opened up before he spoke. Jarvis, call the vault, let them know they've got more guests. Very well, sir. Also, Miss Potts called. She wants to know if you're still playing hero, or if you plan to come back and do some real work at the office. Nevada the Cube. A man walked down the hall of the prison for radiation villains. He has brown hair and is wearing a sweater vest over a button shirt with brown slacks. He went to the end of the hall before speaking. How are we today, Bruce? Bruce has a rather weak build. He has a scruffy beard, brown messy hair, and brown eyes. He's wearing ripped dark blue jeans and no shirt. No episodes in the last 36 hours, I see, Leonard said as Bruce looked at him. This is a disaster waiting to happen, Leonard. Leonard sighed before looking at X-rays. I've told you time and time again, Bruce. We'll find a cure for the Hulk. Bruce shook his head at that. No, Shield and Ross aren't looking to cure us, they want to control us. The cube is a gamma bomb waiting to go off. New York City, Thor. Thor stood on the roof of a building looking out at the city. Suddenly, a portal came up behind him and a man came out. Hail, Thor Odinson. He's wearing blue and silver armor and a cape with a headdress. Hail, Balder the Brave. What brings Asgard's shining knight to Midgard? Thor asked as he walked over and held him by the shoulder. Your father has entered the Odin's Leap and asked me to bring you back home, and defend Asgard while he regains his strength. Nay. Thor declined as he went back to the railing. Thor, you are like a brother to me. We have fought wars together. But I do not understand your connection to this place. Baldur sighed as sirens blared. Here, I can make a difference. In Asgard, the endless cycle of fighting is meaningless. On Earth, everything matters. I am needed here, Baldur. He finished before hearing an ambulance just below him. He flew down and landed on a car that was about to strike a female tending to a wounded man. She is a Caucasian human female with a slender body with short brown hair and blue eyes. She's wearing a blue paramedic uniform. She looked to Thor, who dropped down by her, both ignoring a woman trying to get out of a car before the airbag went off, knocking her out. Are you all right, Jane Foster? She nodded before speaking. Yes, thank you for salve. Hey, have you been following me? Thor avoided her gaze as he played with Mjolnir. Perhaps. You intrigue me. Mortal lives are so fragile, but you do not seem to accept that. She just stared at him. Would you? He smiled at her before answering. Nay. The vault. Iron Man brought the AIM man to a tall building on a heliport. Iron Man, this is Jimmy Woo with Vault Security. You're clear for landing. Iron Man landed on the port as SHIELD took them inside. Thanks. AIM has been a thorn in SHIELD's side for a long time. Iron Man looked to the AIM before speaking. Yeah, well, helping SHIELD isn't on my to-do list. These guys are dangerous. They had my tech, I took them down. End of story. Jimmy shrugged before looking at him. Right. Well, since you're here, I wanted to talk about our security with you. We had an incident last week. Iron Man raised his hand at that. Did Fury put you up to this? Jimmy shook his head at that. Number. This isn't about weapons, but containment. It's about keeping people safe. Iron Man activated his thrusters before speaking. Okay, schedule an appointment with Pepper. Whatever it is, I'm sure it can wait a day. He took off at that as Jimmy stared at him. SHIELD. Helicarrier, the big house. Hank was talking to Mad Thinker as Ultron bots walked the halls. I wanted to ask you a question, mister. He trailed off before the inmate spoke. Mad Thinker, if you please. Hank shrugged at that. Okay. SHIELD monitored your conversation with Whirlwind. You said something was going to happen? We'd like to know what. Can you not feel it, Doctor? The better question is not what, but when. Up above, Maria and Wasp walk the halls. Director Fury is very serious, Wasp. Wasp sighed at that. Hank and Man is against it, Shinobi doesn't care either way. Maria looked at her before speaking. And you? She asked, getting Wasp to sigh. I want to help. I want to do more. SHIELD can let you do more, Maria said as another woman walked towards them. She's wearing a skin-tight black jumpsuit, wrist blasters, and gold pouches on her waist acting as a belt. She has long red hair and green eyes. She has a curvaceous figure and is well endowed. She walked in between them, having the duo stop. Who's she? Maria glanced at the woman before answering. That's classified. Wasp sighed at that. On second thought, SHIELD might be too serious for me. She said before the lights flickered for a moment. Like that. Suddenly, the carrier shook before the big house expanded and went through it, causing the carrier to fly towards the river. Fury gave out orders before one man came to him. Sir. Automated reports are coming online. The cube and the vault systems have gone offline. No one is answering down in the big house, something is seriously wrong. Down below, villains attacked SHIELD. Agents before Mara ran through a hall shooting her way down as Wasp grew back to normal and picked a phone up. Naruto, we're in serious trouble. A moment later, Shinobi without his mask appeared beside her, crouching. As he stood, his mask appeared to hide his identity. Iron Man. Pepper. Guess who I pissed off this morning? Here's a hint, his name rhymes with boom. Iron Man said as a picture of Pepper came upon his hollow screen. Tony, something's happened to the SHIELD. Helicarrier. Some sort of explosion. It's looking really bad. Iron Man narrowed his eyes before Jarvis spoke. Sir, there appears to be a problem at the vault. They've stopped transmitting data. Iron Man looked at Pepper's picture before speaking. All right, Pepper, keep monitoring the Helicarrier situation. I've gotta check on something here. Cafe Thor and Jane. Jane was talking to Thor outside a cafe copyright, who explained his father slept for a week to replenish his strength. Wow, must be some sleep. Thor nodded at that. It is indeed. But, during this time, Asgard is vulnerable to attack. Jane raised her hands and rested her head on them before speaking. So, why aren't you there? Thor sighed as he looked at his drink. That seems to be a popular question today. It is. Complicated. Jane just raised an eyebrow at that. Really? Because it sounds like you're just mad at your dad. There's nothing less complicated than that. The mortals. You. I am needed here. Jane shook her head at that. We've gotten along fine without you before. We've got police officers, firefighters, paramedics, and we've got a few superheroes of our own. Take the week off, help the family. Earth will still be here when you get back. Boom. Something exploded in the distance, getting their attention. What was it you were saying about the Earth still being here? Thor asked, standing up. Touché, Jane said as Thor flew over to the explosion. Nevada, the cube. The cube exploded in gamma radiation, having Leonard cough as his hair and eyes started to turn green. He groaned as he walked to Bruce's cell and saw him pinned under rubble. Leonard? Listen to me. You've been exposed to gamma radiation. We need to get you to the hospital. You were right, the prisoners are all free, Leonard said, standing as he started becoming more muscular. You have to help me, Leonard. Because right now, the Hulk is the only hope we have. Leonard started to lift the rubble and gained a muscular frame before being sapped and getting a scar over his left eye. Zax. Zax is a humanoid creature made from pure electricity. Bruce glared as he started to turn green and lose his stubble. He started to grow into a large green man with large muscles. His eyes and hair turned into dark green as well. The vault. Iron Man landed and saw several people in a large room. The only female is wearing a black bodysuit with her sides bare. She has red hair pulled in a ponytail and a prominent cleavage. The next is a man with a muscular frame. He's wearing a V-shaped purple mask, a purple vest with a scaled armor-like appearance, a purple band around his sleeveless right bicep, darker purple fingerless gloves, dark purple pants, and purple boots. He carries a purple quiver around his back and a folded bow. The next man is wearing an Eskimo-style blue and white parka over a cryogenic suit, armed with cryogenic, wearing an ice pack on his back with 2 pipes leading down to his gloves. The last man is in a special containment suit. It's mostly black with glowing yellow lines stretched all over it, some of which are in the shape of lightning bolts. The suit covers his entire body. Whiplash, Arrow Guy. Say goodnight. Iron Man said before opening fire on them. He was hit with a block of ice as Whiplash, Living Laser, and Blizzard surrounded him. Iron Man got up and looked at them. Living Laser shot a laser at him, having a plate from his shoulder drop. Iron Man. Iron Man was suddenly grabbed by another man. He's in a large robotic body. Long has Crimson Dynamo waited for this. As the heroes started to attack, Hawkeye shot arrows down and they exploded, saving Iron Man, who flew up and initiated the destructor for the vault. SHIELD. Holy Carrier. Naruto attacked several villains before chasing after Wasp, who's flying to help Hank. Once finding him, he saw Ant-Man shrink as two people collided with each other. Wasp flew to catch up to him as Naruto jumped over the two downed men and followed after the insect-themed heroes. Up above, Maria gave Fury the status of the carrier. Containment at 0%. Fury looked at her as they hit the water. Forget that. I'm worried about the raft. She looked to see a boat out just in front of them. The fourth prison. Down below the boat, a large prison housing the world's most dangerous villains went offline. Prisoners walked out of their cells and looked at each other. Underneath the building, another man was restrained in an energy room. He's wearing a blue and white suit with two white belts around his stomach. He has long black hair and a beard with gray streaks. His restraints turned off and his hair started floating as his restraints morphed into boots, as well as shoulder pads. He opened his eyes and they glowed for a second. Up above, Fury was directing his men while holding a rifle before the boat was lifted. Run! He yelled before being pulled in the air to a floating graviton. Graviton! Fury said before grunting as Graviton moved his hands, increasing the gravity around his body. Suddenly, Graviton was hit with Mjolnir, sending him flying as Wasp did her best to help Fury to the docks. Iron Man. Iron Man was flying over a farm and suddenly crashed into a cornfield. Ugh! Great, never get a taxi out here. JARVIS, any new news from the helicarrier? He asked JARVIS. Still sinking, sir. He sighed at that before speaking. Thanks, open remote access the Chicago Armory. Activating Mach 7 armor. New York City. Anything you'd like to tell us, Fury? Ant-Man asked Fury, who looked at the boat that fell back in the water. Not really. Shinobi leaned against a crate before speaking. I'm guessing that's Franklin Hall, aka Graviton. In a plan to recreate the super soldier serum, he ended up causing an accident that gave himself near limitless gravitational powers. Due to him being dangerous, Hall ended up imprisoned at the raft by Nick Fury in an unconscious state for 10 years. Fury looked to him, as did the others. What? Super awesome ninja here. I worked my magic on Maria. After some time with my charming self, I had her spilling more than just the beans. Wasp deadpanned at him as he closed his eyes in what she thought was a smile. Naruto. Naruto sighed at that before speaking. Okay, my robotic arm can hack into computers. This is Director Nick Fury. I'm calling in an Omega level threat. All SHIELD. Agents, every Hulkbuster unit, the U.S. Armed Forces. They are now under my direct control. Fury said into his comlink. Wow, Nick Fury is actually worried, Wasp said to Ant-Man and Naruto. Suddenly, lightning cracked around where Thor and Graviton were fighting. Thor attacked Graviton, who just used gravity to create a shield for each strike. He threw out his hand and sent Thor flying back. Enough. This Ends. Now! Thor yelled before he threw Mjolnir at Graviton. Nevada, the cube. The Hulk escaped the cube with Samson after taking care of several villains and landed in a small diner. He walked inside and dropped Samson on the counter. "Chicken soup, take care of him," Hulk said in a deep voice. He looked to see a news report on Thor fighting Graviton. "You could help." Hulk turned to see Bruce sitting at a booth. "What do you want?" Hulk asked his other self as Bruce stared up at him. The waitress looked over and saw that Hulk was just talking to himself. "You could make a difference. You can save Thor. Just like you saved Samson." "Funny, I don't remember Thor coming to save me." Bruce put his arms on the table. "Shinobi's there, he helps you. He knows you can be more than a monster. That you can be the hero. If you help them, it'll help us. If you stand by other heroes, if you save lives, people will begin to see that the Hulk isn't just a monster. That you can be a source of good." Hulk just raised an eyebrow before speaking. "If I do this, you do something for me." Bruce mirrored his action before speaking. "What?" he asked as Hulk narrowed his eyes. "I stay. We stay as the Hulk, not Banner. New York City. We can't just sit here," Wasp said looking at the fight. "We've got to do something." Naruto nodded at that. "Yep, but they're over the waters. I can't stay in the air for more than a second. I'll need to wait for them to come to land." Wasps moved to the water as Ant-Man reached for her. "No, Hank. Millions of lives are at stake." She flew off as she shrank before Naruto spoke. "I know you're a pacifist, Hank. But she's right, the lives of the city outweigh the life of a man bent on revenge." Up with the fight, Graviton increased the gravity on Thor, sending him plummeting into the waters and to the ocean floor. Wasp flew over and shot her beams at Graviton before he swatted her away. Suddenly, Iron Man flew over and tackled Graviton before firing his blasts at him, sending Graviton flying away. Wasp flew to Iron Man, who looked at her. "Hey, Janet, I knew we traveled in the same social circles." "Who's that?" he said as she looked around. "Some crazy physicist, something to do with Nick Fury." "Oh no, Thor. Thor's on the ocean floor. We need to help him." Back with Naruto, he was looking at the fight before suddenly being picked up. "Wahey!" He looked to see Ant-Man growing very tall and picked him up by the back of his costume. He flailed his arms before being put on Ant-Man's shoulder just as Iron Man was sent up to the sky. Ant-Man walked over in a few steps and clasped his hands together just as Naruto jumped in the air and came back down with a large Rasengan, spiraling sphere. Adama Rasengan, big ball spiraling sphere. Ant-Man pulled his hands away as Naruto hit Graviton to the water. Graviton flew up and sent Naruto to the water and Ant-Man flying. Naruto saw Thor escape before swimming over and tried to help him up. They slowly made their way to Mjolnir before Thor raises his hand to his hammer. Up above, Ant-Man flew into the docks as Graviton flew over, brought Fury to him, and crushed him. Only for Fury to explode, revealing himself a robot. Graviton growled before flying to the city. Naruto jumped out of the water and landed on the docks just in time to see a large chunk of the city lifted into the air. Holy shit! he said as Thor flew over and hit Graviton with a lightning-infused Mjolnir. Graviton was sent into the bottom of the city, having it fall. Thor flew underneath to the middle and tried to keep it from plummeting and gently form back before he flew out of the water. Naruto jumped over the buildings and made his way towards Graviton as Wasp flew beside him. Naruto jumped from a high building to a lower one and flipped as he landed before jumping over a vent. He jumped again before unsealing a grappling hook and threw it at the next building that was far away. He swung to the side and ran alongside it as he pulled the grappling hook back to him and saw Thor fighting against Graviton right before being hit by a blast from Iron Man. Naruto landed by the crater with the others before speaking. "I think you should listen to Thor. Stay down." Naruto went through hand signs before slamming them down. Earth restraints came up and held Graviton down as Ant-Man stepped by them. "You need help, Hall," he said as Wasp flew around Graviton. Graviton frowned before throwing his arms out and had each hero fly to a building, breaking his restraints. "I'm stronger than all of you. I'm the strongest one there is," Graviton yelled, flying up. And heard something land behind him. "You sure about that?" Turning around, Graviton saw the Hulk smirking at him before being tackled over to the shipping yard. The heroes groaned before they followed. They saw the Hulk throwing Graviton around before Ant-Man spoke up. "Is that the Hulk?" Naruto landed on his shoulder before looking at him. For someone who preaches giving people second chances and rehabilitation, you sound surprised that someone everyone thinks is a monster wants to help. You've gotta have faith sometimes, too. Graviton used his powers to have Hulk slam down and sink into the ground as the heroes ran to them. Only to have the same thing happen to them. "Look at you fools. I possess the power of the universe itself. I am power." He flew up and created a tornado around him. The heroes tried to get up, only to fall back down before the Hulk slowly got up. Ant-Man shrunk down to his ant size and commanded flying red ants up to Graviton, who bit his neck. He yelled out before flinging the ants off just as the Hulk tackled him again. The heroes got up and attacked Graviton at the same time. Naruto using wind jutsus before the Hulk fell, hitting containers away before Wasp started cutting them up for him. "You're helping me?" he asked, having her nod. "Yeah, now hit him." Hulk smirked before diving down towards Graviton. They slammed into the ground before Graviton threw the earth up, sending the Hulk away. Wasp hits him with her blasts before Iron Man shot a large beam out of his chest at Graviton, who threw the earth at him. And had a large ship hit him as a result. Boom. The ship exploded, leaving Graviton dazed just as Thor shot a large bolt down onto him. Formidgered. Crack. The attack left a large crater and a singed Graviton in the middle. Wasp shot him in the chest, having Graviton fall unconscious. Click. Looking up, the heroes saw Shield aiming multiple weapons at them. "Step away from the Hulk." A man said as Shina by and Iron Man stood in front of the Hulk. "No, you want him, you go through us. The Hulk saved us all. He's a hero, like us," Naruto said, having the others walk in front of the Hulk as well. Fury walks up to them, arms behind his back. "Stand down, men. We've got bigger problems than the Hulk. 75 escapees to be exact," Fury said as a man ran to him. "We can find out who did this, Together. Come work for me. As SHIELD. Agents, you can make a real difference. No deal, Fury. This is your fault, isn't it? SHIELD created Graviton. Whatever you did, changed him. You kept it under wraps, and then this happened. Ant-Man said before Iron Man spoke up. Fury's right. The others looked at him in shock. What? You of all people are going to work for SHIELD? Wasp asked as she hovered. Number. He's right about us making a difference, together. One-on-one we can each take down a villain or two, but 75? None of us can do that alone. Together, we have a chance. What we did here, can change things. The world needs us. But as a team, not on our own. Together we can avenge the wrongs caused by all these villains. You mean, like Avengers? Was past having Naruto snort. Like that'll catch on. A man walked up to Fury holding a tablet. Sir. Security video shows Graviton woke up after the raft went offline. He couldn't be the one who did this. And there's something else you've got to see. You're not gonna believe this. The vault. Inside the vault, Fury and Maria walked towards a cell and blinked at the other end. A full-scale breakout. Every containment cell is rendered offline. Every inmate escapes this prison. And you're the only one remaining. Why? Fury asked the prisoner who, revealed to be Diamondback, kept lying on her bed. Wearing her costume without the mask. Maybe I've got a hidden agenda against the world that so wronged me. Or maybe I've more likely gotten tired of the constant in and out of jail routine? Fury looked to her before speaking. Then how would you like a job? New York City, a few days later. Shinobi looked through a pair of binoculars and zoomed in to see someone jump out of a bank window. He has a human-like appearance with distinctive manderlape features with brown fur and yellow eyes. He's wearing a blue shirt with long sleeves, a yellow belt around his waist, black spandex, black boots, and a red cape. Mandrill. Naruto put the binoculars in his belt and dived off the building. Going halfway down, he flipped to land on a scaffold for cleaning the windows. The end in front of him suddenly dropped, having him fall 2 stories onto another. The back dropped, having Naruto fall backward onto another 1 story down. He slid from that one onto the building in front of him before running to jump to the next one below him. He grabbed a wire clothesline, flipped from it, and landed on the roof. Running to the edge, Naruto jumped off into a backflip and landed on the next building before jumping off it and landed on the ground with the others. I surrender. I surrender. Mandrill yelled out as he backed from Naruto into the Hulk. Well, that was easy, Wasp said, flying up. Verily. He brings shame to all monkeys with his cowardness. What say you, Shinobi? Thor asked, resting Mjolnir on his shoulder. I say 1 down, 73 to go, Naruto replied as Iron Man turned to him. 73? Fury said he got 1 person right after the breakout. Night, harbor. A cloaked man walked on a storage ship before being spotted. Look at what we got here. The man turned to a group of men holding crowbars, pipes, and chains. They dashed to the hooded man who jumped up, took off the cloak, and blinded several men with it before quickly taking them out along with the others who didn't get caught. The man ran into a light and showed him wearing a skin-tight, full-body black cat ninja suit. He disappeared in the shadows as he ran into the city. The next morning, New York, Stark Mansion. Pepper looked at her watch before sighing. "Well, thank you for actually being on time," she said to her left as Shinobi and an annoyed Hulk with his arms crossed stood at the gates to a mansion. Unlike the others. "No problem, Pepper," Naruto said as Hulk gave an annoyed grunt. Naruto watched the people walk by them as a woman's dog sniffed Hulk for a second before leaving with its owner. "Hark, Miss Potts." The trio looked to see Thor float down. "And Hulk, Shinobi. It is good to see you again. Are you ready for the upcoming battles?" he asked the two as he walked up and placed a hand on Hulk's shoulder. Hulk simply took Thor's hand off him. "You ready to get a watch?" "We're here." "Sorry, we're late," Wasp said, flying in her small form in between the two. "I had to tear Hank away from his lab." Suddenly, Ant-Man grew from his small size, surprising Thor. "Friend Pym. I did not see you there. I expected you to be giant." "Really? Why? Thy giant self seems more useful." "Well, actually." "Where's Stark?" Hulk yelled out, interrupting Thor and Ant-Man. Sorry, everyone," Iron Man said, dropping down. "I got caught up in a meeting." He took off his helmet and looked at Pepper. "Actually, I missed that meeting, too." She narrowed her eyes at him as Tony continued. "Thanks for coming, and welcome to Avengers Mansion." Naruto glanced to the three-storied mansion as Tony continued. "This was my claim." Only to stop as Hulk pushed the gate open, and into the yard. "Sigh, that was really rude." They walked inside where Thor looked at a camera pad by the door. A light scanned his eye before Jarvis spoke. "Greetings, Thor Odinson. May I offer you a drink?" "What manner of the palace is this?" Thor asked, looking back to the others. This was the museum for the Maria Stark Foundation. "My mother's home. I've had it upgraded since the breakout. I thought this could be our headquarters," Tony replied as the others looked around the main entrance. "Swanky," Wasp said, flying up. "The mansion is run by Jarvis, my artificial intelligence. Anything you need, Jarvis will provide. Say hi, Jarvis." "Indeed." Tony took them to the kitchen where the Hulk went to the refrigerator and started eating. "We got a full kitchen, chef on call." Tony took them upstairs where they each went into a bedroom. "There are 12 bedrooms, maid service, laundry, room service." They walked into a living room where Tony continued his tour. A theater, lounge. Wasp grew to her original size and hit a remote. A picture over the fireplace moved up into a frame showing a cartoon short. Satellite TV and movies, every form of video entertainment on the planet. "Are you serious, Stark?" Naruto looked over as Ant-Man spoke. "This is what you've spent a week preparing?" No, I haven't gotten to the good part yet." Pepper walked up and handed them an ID card. "You're going to need these. It has a red with a bar is an arrow going into 3 more triangles. It has a red stripe on the top and a black one in the middle with a black square on the top right. Suddenly, it turned white with blue trim as did the triangles and it beeped. Tony came up on the square revealing it's a screen and he spoke. These ID cards are linked to the Stark satellite network. Naruto looked to him as Tony continued. It'll keep us in audio and video communication anywhere in the world. They also give you full access and control of the mansion. Here, let me show you how it works. Naruto looked to see Pepper give Hulk a card. You think I can't figure it out? I'm sure you can. Thor narrowed his eyes at that. "'Twould be wise to treat the lady with respect," Thor said walking up to the Hulk. "Which lady did you mean, Blondie?" "Ahem." Tony cleared his throat as the fireplace went up to show another doorway. "Nifty," Wasp said shrinking and flew over. They walked in and saw it was an elevator with glass walls and took them deep underground to show another 3-storied building. A/N, for a better picture look at this episode. Tony took them through a science lab into what looked like a football field-sized pool. "A pool?" Wasp asked, having Tony shake his head. "No, that's on the roof. This is the hangar for the 2 prototype high-speed shuttles." Suddenly, the pool opened from the middle revealing a jet coming up from underneath. It's white and red on the front with the Retta on it. The Quinjets. Complete with weapons, shield, and an airspeed of Mach 8. Tony glanced to Naruto, the Hulk, and Ant-Man. "For those of us that can't fly, it can go into space too." "Screw you, Tony," Naruto said, flipping Tony off. Tony then took them through a training area with different rooms they tried before they went to a large office. "And this is the assembly hall." He took them to a red round table having a black A on it. "JARVIS, bring up the most wanted list." A hologram tower went up showing the heads of every villain that escaped with Graviton, and Mandrill turning red showing they're captured. Naruto noticed one was missing before speaking. "Where's Diamondback?" "Joined SHIELD," Tony replied, having the others blink. "Said she was tired of going back to jail, so Fury put her on probation to see if she really meant it." "Okay, 74 supervillains escaped, Graviton's being held by SHIELD. We caught Mandrill and Rachel aka Diamondback is working for Fury." Naruto looked over and noticed the Hulk looking at his reflection. As Naruto turned his attention back to the table, he missed Hulk's eyes glow for a second. "They'll turn on you, too." Hulk looked to see Bruce in the window. "This was your idea." "Things have changed." Hulk looked to see Wasp wave at him before making faces and turn back. "Real mature, Janet," Naruto said before looking at the holograms. "If we do recapture them all, where do we put them? The big house and vault are destroyed and we haven't heard anything from the cube." Ant-Man said as Tony looked at him. "I'm working with a colleague about that now. Reed Richards is working on a prison that's actually outside this dimension. In a place he calls the negative zone." "Too much talking. We should just go get these guys," Hulk commented from the other side of the room. "We need to find them first," Naruto said before Janet yawned. "We don't even know how the breakout happened in the first place. What's to keep it from happening there?" Ant-Man said as Naruto sighed. If we put them in this negative zone, they wouldn't be able to leave even if the power goes out," Naruto said, leaning on the table with his hands. "You know. Maybe we should call it today. Then concentrate on beating up the bad guy tomorrow," Wasp said, leaning her head on her hands. "At least one of you knows what they're doing," Hulk said before turning to leave. Thor gripped the table before walking over to him. "I have had enough of you, creature. Your insults end here. You wanna go, Goldilocks?" Naruto got in between them. "Enough. Let's take 5. The two looked at him before Hulk snorted and left. "Take it easy on him, Thor. This is the first time the Hulk's been with people. Why are you defending him? Let's just say, I have something in common with him." Tony walked up to the trio and cleared his throat. "Since you two are the only ones staying at the mansion full time, I'd appreciate it if you didn't level the place." Later, that night, the Hulk lay down on his slightly smaller bed before hearing Bruce. Sitting up, he looked to the mirror to see Bruce mirror his actions. "This is exactly where they want you, Hulk. This is your new prison. Get used to it." Hulk's eyes glowed green, drowning out pleas from Bruce that he was locked up inside his mind. As Hulk left, the Bruce disappeared and was replaced by a smirking Enchantress. Hank's laboratory wasp, Hank, and Naruto. Naruto leaned against the door frame as Hank, with his cowl down, worked on a new Ultron head. "You never listen to me. I can't believe you don't think this is cool," Wasp said as she flew in his way. "He would if it had 6 legs and could carry 50 times its own weight." Naruto picked up as they argued over Hank being uninterested with the Avengers. "Huh? Oh. I do think this is cool. The modifications I made to the AI are very exciting," Hank said, looking at the Ultron head. "Sigh, no. I'm talking about the Avengers. We're superheroes. I'm a scientist, Janet. With superpowers. On a superhero team," Wasp said, getting in Hank's face. "Just because Iron Man says we're a team doesn't make it so. We're 6 strangers. A team takes time, it takes trust," Hank replied, getting up with a head and went to the other side of the room. "I wonder where Thor slept before this. Does he even sleep? I bet the Hulk slept wherever he wanted." Gasp, "I know. I'll live in the mansion," Wasp exclaimed. "What?" Naruto yelled, uncrossing his arms. "Where the hell will I live? I can't have my friends come to the mansion. That would blow my cover." "Then stay at the penthouse." "I said I would stay, not you," Wasp yelled at Naruto. "Well, okay, that makes more sense," Naruto said with a shrug, getting Wasp to narrow her eyes. "You're not planning on anything, are you?" "Wait. No, how can you even think of such a thing? What about that time I found that naked girl in the penthouse?" Naruto deadpanned at her. "That was MJ, she stayed the night to study. And she was not naked, she had a towel on. She had just taken a shower and left her clothes out of the bathroom." Stark Industries. Tony sat at his desk, looking at Fury, who had his back to him before looking to Pepper. "I don't remember him on the schedule." "He's Nick Fury. He wanted a meeting." "What was I supposed to do?" she asked, walking out as Tony glanced back to Fury. Let me guess. SHIELD needs weapons, you want to recruit Iron Man, you need my help. Not this time. This time, I came to help you. You see, believe it or not, I want your little Avengers project to succeed. Avengers Mansion. Enchantress walked the halls, disabling JARVIS's cameras as she passed them. In the lounge, Thor sat on the couch as he stared at the fire in the fireplace. Pardon me, sir. There appears to be something wrong. JARVIS spoke, getting Thor's attention. What is that concern? Ethereal voice. I have no physical evidence of this, but I believe the mansion's systems are being tampered with. I believe there is an intruder. JARVIS replied as Hulk walked by. Come, Hulk. Let's patrol the grounds. The house believes we have an infiltrator. Perhaps if we are lucky, we will find battle this night. Hulk just stared at him before growling as he walked over. I don't battle, I smash. And if you talk to me again, Hammerface, I'll smash you. If you wish to test your mettle against an Asgardian, I'm happy to oblige. They stared at each other for a moment before Hulk turned around. I don't need this. I don't need anyone. Tell the others, I quit. Good riddance, Thor said before hearing a beep. Incoming call from Pepper Potts. Pepper came up on the screen behind the painting. JARVIS just told me Hulk just left. Thor, you have to bring him back. Why would I do that? Thor asked Pepper as he turned to face her. Because he's our responsibility. And with the mood he's in, he's liable to tear down the city. Please, go get him. The screen cut to black, having Thor leave. Missing Enchantress appears on the couch with a smirk. Thor flew off and dropped down in front of Hulk, who was still walking. You need to come back to Avengers Mansion. Move, Hulk said, walking past Thor. Only to be grabbed by the arm. That wasn't a request. Stark Industries Tony, and Nick Fury. Officially, SHIELD tolerates superheroes. But just barely. A team of superpowered vigilantes rounding up criminals makes a lot of people uneasy. I believe in what you're doing, Tony. I believe the Avengers are important. And behind the scenes, I'll do whatever it takes to help you. Fury said as Tony stared at him. Wow. I almost believed you there. Tony said, crossing his arms. You'll help us. When you're not manipulating us. You take the good with the bad. Knock knock. The two looked to the side and saw Pepper open the door. Sorry to interrupt. But we got a problem. A big green problem. It's your team, hero. Deal with it. Tony got up and pulled a monitor out of his desk. Avengers assemble. Central Park. Shinobi landed in a crouch as he saw Iron Man in front of Thor. Something's messing with the green guy, Kit. Naruto heard a voice in his head before dashing over. Hello. If Naruto was hit by the Hulk and was sent flying several leagues away. The energy's similar to your hammer, Thor. Iron Man said, scanning Mjolnir. 'Tis dark magic. Hulk's been enchanted. Ant-Man, in his giant form, grabbed Hulk. I'm guessing this isn't a team trust building exercise. He's being mind controlled. Naruto said, running back as Hulk flipped Ant-Man on his back. Thor flew over and tried to attack. Only for Hulk to dodge, and grab his cape to swing Thor around. Hulk clotheslined Iron Man as he tried to attack from behind. Rasengan, spiraling sphere. Naruto hit Hulk in the stomach, only for Hulk to grab him as he went flying and threw Naruto away. Hulk hit Wasp and had yellow energy come off him before he gently put Wasp down. Pretty ladies, Naruto said as he had swirled in his eyes and Hulk jumped away. He slowly got up and made his way to the others. That went well, everyone okay? Iron Man stopped as a double-headed axe hit his chest and put him on the ground. The Avengers. Naruto turned to see Enchantress and Executioner before holding his head and hissed as a strong headache hit him. How unimpressive. Better hope someone more capable avenges you, she said before attacking Thor. She entranced him Pilker to keep him from picking it up. Naruto ran to the duo, only to get hit with magic that sent him flying away. Not cool. How dare you attack us, Enchantress? Thor said before Iron Man's power came back on. Wait. You know these people, Thor? The Enchantress and her Executioner. They are Asgardians. Thor replied as Enchantress rested a hand on her hip, and cocked it to the side. Why have you come here, Amara? Oh, you love Midgard so much, Thunderer. We thought we'd come and see what all the fuss is about. She stopped as she was tackled by Naruto into the bushes as Thor attacked the Executioner. That was not cool, lady, he said as he landed on top of her, her arms pinned above her head. She smirked before leaning up. Oh, I like that Tilda, she said with a moan and grinds her crotch on his. Naruto blushed behind his mask, having Enchantress smirk, and knee him in the crotch. Ow! Birds woke up and flew away from the trees as Naruto lay down in the fetal position. Low blow. Literally. She left to fight the others just as the Hulk dropped down to help. Naruto hobbled over to the fight before seeing the Avengers dash towards the two Asgardians. Once Naruto got his wind back, he saw Thor and Iron Man attack Enchantress together, knocking her out. Naruto shook his head as he walked over. Inside his head, a nine-tailed fox laid down, resting his head on his paws before looking over to see a door blocked with chains beside him. Whatever's behind that door, I hope it won't bite us in the ass. He closed his eyes, missing the door glow gold for a moment. Outside, the Executioner took Enchantress and made a portal to escape. Thor explained that the Enchantress is an old enemy of his that wants to cause him pain before he walked up to the Hulk. You have won the day, friend Hulk. Truly thou art a warrior to be reckoned with. For few can resist the Enchantress's charm. Nothing's changed. You all thought I was a savage monster. You were going to take me down. You're no different than Ross or Shield. Except they're honest about it. Hulk said, walking away. Hulk, come on. It's not like that, Wasp said, trying to get him to stop. I'm done, Hulk said before jumping away. Give him time. He'll come around, Naruto said before the others flew off, with Ant-Man shrinking to ride a flying ant. Sigh, really? Just leave the only guy who can't fly? When they made it to the mansion, they missed the man in the cat costume watch them from the next building away. Antarctic, Hulk. Hulk let out a roar that cracked the ice around him before jumping off. As he did so, one pillar of ice broke off, revealing a circular star-spangled shield in a block of ice. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe.